Hello,
Mom.
sweetheart. Are you alone?
Very. Oh, gosh, it's good to see you.
Same here.
So, any special reason you stopped by?
Yes. I got my travel orders. I leave for Mendorra the end of next week.
Really? So soon?
Yes. Well, you know, Charles resigned, and according to state, there are some pressing matters that need my attention.
According to state, you've got the lingo going already. Are you excited?
I am. There are going to be new people, new challenges, vistas to conquer.
Well, how long will you be gone?
Months, I'm afraid.
Months?
Yes. Well, unlike Charles, I'm going to have to actually live there for a while in order to get to know the people, the customs, the problems that they have. You know, Charles was able to run things pretty much by remote control, but maybe after a while I'll be able to do the same thing.
He must have been a little too remote to have to resign. I'll miss you.
Oh, sweetheart, will you really? I mean, we hardly ever see each other. It's not as if we always see each other on a day-to-day basis.
I know, but it's not the same. It's not as if I just have you here and can call you when I want to. Mom.
Oh, but... Tell you what. Why don't you stay at my apartment while I'm away? Well, that is, unless, of course, you're spending your nights with John.
No. No nights. And the only days we spend together are inside these dismal walls. And when we are together, we are usually at each other's throats most of the time.
Oh, that sounds thrilling. What's happening?
I don't know. It's frustrating, it's upsetting, and it makes me crazy.
And yet you're still working for him.
Because I am a fathead.
No, I think it's because you're in love. My darling, you listen to your mother. You better take care of your heart. Because sometimes you're the only person who will.
Fired, Dorian? I thought you were pleased with my work.
I am. And that's why I'm firing you as the news director of WVLE. It's so that you can accept your new job, that of vice president and general manager. Why do you look so shocked? I mean, you know that I'm leaving for Mendorra next week. I want to leave the station in the very best hands.
Huh? I don't know what to say. Yes, I do know what to say. I accept, and thanks very much for your vote of confidence. I hope I don't disappoint you.
No, I'm sure.
Well, that's never stopped you before. Excuse me, Dorian, I'm sorry, but if you don't mind, I would like to speak with my father. It's very important.
Of course. We can continue this conversation later.
All right.
Someplace closer, like New Jersey.
I'm going to miss you so much. But I understand from Judith Sanders that you're really becoming indispensable at Sanders Chemical.
Oh, it was so great of her to get me that job.
Are you enjoying the work?
Oh, sure. There's always something interesting going on in the lab, and I love to peek at the experiments after I finish cleaning.
I don't doubt that you'll be running that entire laboratory before long.
Well, I'm just grateful to have the chance to be out of Statesville and to be working on my own.
You've got Judith Sanders to thank for that.
I've got her to thank for plenty more. She and that young fellow that she works with, they kept my son out of the same prison I was in.
Yes, I understand that all the charges have been dropped against Wade. You must be very relieved. Aren't you?
Yeah, he didn't come and tell me the good news. I had to hear it from Mrs. Sanders.
Give him time. He'll come around.
He's actually a good kid. It's just his dumb luck to have an ex-con for a mother.
Now, wait a minute. I don't want to hear you talking like that. You have turned your entire life around. That should instill pride in him. If he doesn't feel that way, that's his problem, not yours.
Well, he's still my little boy. I just wish he'd let me help him.
When I come back from Mendorra, I want to see the two of you reunited as a family again.
Dorian, you never quit, do you?
No, and neither do you, my good friend. Hello. My. So, the imposter prince decided to put his charm and intelligence to good works.
Well, looking for a good story, Miss Lord?
Yes, indeed, I am. So why don't you tell me the one about you and the king's daughter? Don't worry, I have forgiven you for that. especially now that I'm so proud of you.
Really, why?
For one thing, you defended Roberta's son.
He's a good kid. He just had some tough breaks.
I understand he has a bit of an attitude problem.
Well, people change. Maybe Wade can change.
I hope so, for Roberta's sake. She really loved him very much. She'd do anything in the world for him. If he could just believe that and give her a chance, I think they could help each other. It's quite impressive, yes. I think it's wonderful that somebody is at long last doing something for the poor souls of Landview who can't afford a fancy attorney. And just to prove to you that I bear no grudge, I would like to make a contribution to your worthy cause. Will you accept it?
Sure. We need the money.
Yes. I hope that helps get your project underway.
It will.
A simple thank you will do.
On behalf of all the people who will benefit from this generous donation, thank you.
You're welcome. I hope I can steer other donations your way.
Obviously, I'll accept a donation from anyone, even the devil herself.
Could you possibly be talking about me? Geoffrey, do I need to remind you that I was your first friend here in Landview? I saved you from the immigration authorities. I gave you a place to hide out at WVLE. I gave you a chance to speak your mind, state your case on my television show. Now, I know we've had our differences, but what did I do to deserve this kind of treatment?
It's what you did to my father. Oh, yeah, I figured it out. As a matter of fact, it was pretty easy. You kept pursuing the connection between he and I, and your persistence finally paid off. You hit pay dirt. You took that pay dirt, you went to Washington, spread it around in certain circles so that the ambassador had to quietly resign. Now, who is it who steps over this warm body and into his shoes but the great Dorian Lord?
Charles was your father quite by accident. I did not go digging for dirt. I didn't go unlocking closets, looking for skeletons. It just happened.
And when it did, you practically tripped all over yourself, racing to Washington to spread the news about my father's infidelity. Oh, yes, character flaws are a very hot topic right now, and you made the most of his.
Oh, character flaws, my foot. What your father did was just plain stupid. He was married to Judith. He was building a career in a very sensitive area of the government. His liaison with Marissa is nothing short of self-destructive. It's a wonder nobody's found out about it before.
Well, perhaps no one wanted his job badly enough.
I did not go after your father. He came after me. He tried to get my FCC license taken away because I gave you a chance to speak your mind on my show. If he'd played fair, I would have returned the favor. He's the one who chose to play hardball. Besides which, it is your presence in this town that caused the whole mess. Yes, what, if I had not been so determined to find out who was so determined to get you deported
You were
out
determined to go after a good story, and you ended up with an ambassadorship.
I still would like to wrap up that story.
Look, I'm not interested in discussing my father or my relationship with him. He can take care of himself. In fact, what I am interested in is that my mother can't protect herself now. If this story should get to Mendorra, why, this would ruin her life as it is.
What? I am going to Mendorra to serve my country, not to gossip. And I take my responsibilities very seriously.
Oh, just like your responsibilities to the poor people of Landview, huh? The people who can't afford a fancy lawyer. This isn't money for a cause you believe in. This is guilt money for what you did to my father.